in Georgia and inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Atlanta Falcons. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. Looking to throw right away. Pickett. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Well, this defense for the Jaguars, they were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. That time trying to find Gerald Everett, and it's third down.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Here's Pickett. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he's going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with James Conner. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. 1st and 10, here's Pickett. He'll find Metcalf, and they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. The Falcons at 10-1 now on the year. And they've certainly found their groove of late. Winners of 5 in a row.
And this team is absolutely playing their best football right now. This is the best that we've seen them play in a long time, partner. Sky's the limit as far as they're concerned. Their confidence really soaring.
Short completion, just 4 yards. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They are such a talented team at defending the perimeter and taking away throws to the outside. Great confidence, great skill.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw, Pickett. His throw incomplete.
I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Pickett back to throw. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in down. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with third down looming. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Nothing doing on second and third down after that 9-yard gain on first.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
They'll try and run for it. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short. Didn't get there. The red challenge flag making an appearance. Doug Peterson not liking what he saw there. So not successful there on the challenge, and he'll have to be careful from here on out because he'll only have 1 challenge remaining. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone, and there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Here's second and 10 now from the 35. Back to throw, Pickett. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on first and second down, bring up third and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Throwing on third down. Here's Pickett. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And he's going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a second and 3. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, and then they go ahead and they double down with the whole thing because you think, okay, let's throw the ball. Oh, yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well, too. Very difficult task right now.
This will be swung out here for Conner. Touchdown, Falcons! James Conner hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. Now the try here for the point after. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
2nd and 13. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 10-0 the score after one on EA Sports. Come on. 5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. Looking to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and it goes down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. 3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And it will be Falcon football. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Well, the football changing hands here as this offense takes the field. Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A first down there on a pickup at 25.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
On 1st and 10 is counter. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Pickett. He's got his man. That's Everett, the tight end. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. They'll run here with Connor. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. To the right side, and he's got more complete. Touchdown! Elijah Moore, a 7-yard touchdown Brown. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes, because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that, so he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And, Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Back to throw. He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Hey, pass.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just talking about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Game clock sitting at 2:02, so they'll get one play before the 2-minute warning. They're going to try and throw. Open man is the tight end, Troutman. And he is going to have a Jags first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Back to throw here. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Well, the way things have been going to this one, Charles, it was only a matter of time before this defense got involved and made a big play, and they do right there. Gosh, this lead is so large, CD, and we're only in the first half.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing that's so amazing about it. You mentioned this large lead. How's this their first takeaway of the game? And what a spectacular run it was. Adding to the lead, showing the true dominance, and you're exactly right. We're still in the first half.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. They'll look to throw again. And he'll just get rid of it.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Again, he'll drop to throw. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Jeffrey Simmons, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So we're at halftime here in Atlanta with the Falcons out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive. But maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the 1st down at the 29. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
They'll try and throw for it here. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he stopped immediately there. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Pickett, he'll look to throw it. Catch is made by Metcalf. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They run behind center with Connor. And this carry brought to an end at the 8. Good stick skills, just not much room there to operate. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Here's Pickett.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now.
So tack on 3 more, though this, it's just a rare drive where they did not find the end zone.
Yeah, you're right about that, partner. But at this point, I don't think you're too concerned about that. You just want to possess the football for a while and drain the clock. If you can get 3 out of it, that's great too.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38. Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to...
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Colton Miller, former first-round pick, called for the penalty there.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. He'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Dancing to his left. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
I'm not quite sure what he thought he saw there, but the reality was certainly a much different picture than what he anticipated. And give credit to the defense. They were down on the flash when he broke out of there, and they forced him out with almost nothing to show for his efforts.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Jeffrey Simmons able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed.
And the Falcons are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
And he'll be brought down at what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. On 1st and 10, it's Pickett. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. DeForest Buckner never giving up. He works his way to the QB for a loss of 12. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Pickett will look to throw it here. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
Here's Michael Pilardi now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And a fake here. Direct snap to the up man. Boy, that's asking a lot of your punt team there, and they were not able to deliver.
It's asking an awful lot of the punt team there because if it's 4th and 4, 4th and 3, you've got a chance, right? That's a manageable distance to try and pick up when you're running a fake. But when that number's actually been in the weight room and it's pumped up like it was, that's difficult to do, all right? So you might even think to yourself, if I left my offense on the field, would they be able to pick that up? You could run a nice play and not get that distance.
And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
2nd and 4. And that's complete downfield to Cooks. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Touchdown, Jaguars. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Jaguars are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead now down to 20. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive as they try to finish things off in this 4th quarter, and that current 5-game win streak looking like it's going to go to 6. The drive will start with Connor, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Gerald Everett is tied in, the intended receiver, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Not sure what happened there, but he just didn't get the right read on the coverage that time. Pass wasn't where it needed to be, and that'll send them back to the drawing board.
From the gun on 3rd down, Pickett. And the ball is knocked out, and the Jags grab it, and they'll set up shop. Territory at the 45-yard line.
Well, maybe it hasn't exactly been a Rembrandt, but they've been mistake-free to this point and finally cough it up. I don't think it's going to cost them the game. They should be fine. But, boy, they're going to hate that, going back and watching tape and being able to say we were that close to achieving our goal of 0 turnovers during the game.
A little blemish, but as you say, still comfortably in command. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
2nd and 2. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. The offense on 3rd down, it's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Ready.
And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Binds. Now the ball comes loose. And the Falcons grab it. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Following the fumble recovery, Pickett on the move to his left. And that one going to come up short. Low throw. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. A gain there of 21 yards. Continue. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw, as this play will stand as is. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Taken down at the 47-yard line.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 37. A nice pickup there, 10 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. And he'll find Everett there, complete. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They're certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the 4th quarter.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
But they're certainly not neglecting their run duties as well as they ate up the blockers in front and allowed the secondary to get home.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He'll find Metcalf. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. Offensively, another big chunk of yardage, Charles, but defensively, they had all this talk about trying to limit explosive plays. They have not been able to do that.
They discussed it all week, but they haven't been able to execute it at all, haven't been able to find a way to slow down this offense. They're seeking answers and not coming up with any.
Going for it on 4th down. Here's Pickett. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And the Jags are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or other.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Here's 2nd and 10. They'll drop to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Amani Oruwariye. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
For the winning side, Charles, all that was missing was a shutout. Just giving up the 7 points, that's it. But really, an incredible game from this defense. A very well-earned victory as a result.
Definitely one of the best single games for defense that you and I have seen in a long time, Brandon, because all we saw was that defense making big play after big play. They got after the quarterback. They had takeaways. You name it. They outclassed them every step of the way and checked every box on the stat sheet in getting it done.
So for the Falcons, they continue to keep pace for that first-round bye as they move to 11-1. And they'll get another home date next week as the Saints will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, it's a rare misstep as they'll drop to 11-2 on the year. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time.